Hey there, what's going on there? I'm just gonna go quickly over what's happening in the Canadian housing market, specifically in Toronto real estate market. Stay tuned.
You're listening to Ray Almadi Podcast, simplifying real estate for investors large and small. If you're here looking to learn about real estate investing without overhype, you're in the right place. Stay tuned and be sure to join the million of others who benefit from GoNextLevel.io, your home for real estate investing online. And know the Game Changer CRM, all in one CRM.
Hi, Ray here, and I'm just gonna go quickly into what is happening with the Toronto real estate market. Since we have COVID and the lockdown in the last 2.5 months, and the real estate market, the transactions specifically to the number of units sold and the average price. So I will go details into the numbers right now, okay? So in January of 2020, we studied in real estate with a very strong number of transactions. We had about 4,552 transactions, which is quite well for a January. And the average price was about $838,000. In February, we did even better. We went into 7,200 transactions and the average price was about $910. And February was the strongest month, and that was before any lockdown, before any shutdown in Canada. The lockdown started in the middle of March. And as soon as the lockdown started, we saw a decline in number of transactions in the Toronto real estate market and across Canada. So pay attention to this. The March numbers, although March is supposed to be one of the best months, and it's the springtime, we were supposed to get over 8,000, close to 9,000 sales. Even though the lockdown started in the last 2 weeks, we had a very strong month of 7,900 transactions and the average price of $902,000. That is with the shutdown in the last 2 weeks having been in place. So now in April, with the full shutdown and the restrictions on showings and open houses that we had seen from the Ontario regulations, we had seen a dramatic decline in the number of transactions that we saw. In fact, that we had about 73% decline compared to last year in April. So we had a total of 2,968 transactions in the whole Greater Toronto area for the month of April. And the average price was about $821,000. Now in May, when the shutdown started to end and a few businesses were allowed to open, and the real estate market has picked up. Now in May, things started to look better than in April. A lot of people got used to the lockdown and things started to look better. In May, we had 4,600 transactions and the average price of $863,000. Now in both number of transactions, we were close to doubling than what we had in April, and in both the average price sales, we had about 2 to 3% increase of both in number of transactions and number of average price increase from April to May. Now that being said, May of 2020 is still about 54% less transactions than 2019. So imagine that 1 out of every other buyer who were to buying back in 2019 same time is not buying right now. Now at the same time, 1 out of every single seller who was going to sell in May did not sell and did not put their home on the market, which really means that the new listings that entered the market was about 55% less as well. And you can see that the supply and the demand, they've dropped together, which means that the average price, it kept about the same. So you can see that the average price for May is $863,000, which is in fact about 3% higher than May of 2019. Now, many people can ask, Ray, wait here. You telling me that the average price of 2020 with the lockdown, with the COVID going on and protests going on down the south of the border, the average price has increased by 3%? Exactly, that's what I'm telling you. And the statistics will tell you exactly the same thing. And the reason being is that there's shortage of supply for the shortage of demand. So they go hand in hand. So right now, if you look at the active listings on the market right now, there's about 11,448 listings on the market. So about 11,500. Okay? So if we are selling in the entire Greater Toronto area about 4,600 homes per month, that will take us about 2.5 months to sell through the entire inventory if no other new homes came on the market. Which means that 2.5 months of supply of homes, it is actually a very, very balanced market. In fact, it could be said that it is actually a seller's market. Because if there's a 3 months of supply of homes, it is a balanced market. More than 3 months of supply of homes, it would be considered a buyer's market. So that is the reason why the prices have held, is because sellers are not selling. They know that because of COVID, they would have trouble showing it, or they are postponing their plans, or they're just not confident in the market. And the buyers are the same thing. So we're seeing about half of the activity that we saw in the May of 2019. Now, you may ask yourself, or I may ask me, Ray, so what's going to happen? Well, before I say what's going to happen, like this video and subscribe to my channel. That's going to really help me to do more of these videos and keep this channel going. Smash that like button right now. Alright, so what is going to happen moving onwards? So right now, we are in a very interesting place in the Toronto real estate market because there can be a lot of negatives about the real estate market and why it will crash. And there's going to be a lot of positives about the real estate market, why the prices will hold, and in fact, not only hold, but increase in price over time. So that is going to be in my next video. Stay tuned of what is actually the prediction that is going to happen with the Toronto real estate market, as well as how did CMHC change their regulations that will impact first-time buyers. Stay tuned and I'll talk to you soon.